So, Mr. Lindsey.
Yes, my name is Jimmie Lindsey, and I've lived in Flowood. I was born in Flowood, Rankin County. When everything was wide open, lights and cameras, not so much as cameras, but nightclubs and entertainment. And I was born in 1952. And we lived in Flowood almost all the teen years of my life. And I was a classmate over Lena High School. So where I graduated, and from then it was Army to state, and then back home off Flowood on Fannin Road.
Well, I'm the youngest brother. Well, not the youngest brother, but the second brother. My brother here, Ricky. I was born in 1953 over there in the Gold Coast, and we talking about a place that was full of, we had, last count I think it was about 122 night spots, and we talking about entertainment spots, eat houses, hotels, restaurants, barbecue, you name it. They had every type of eat house over there. Gambling, policies, you name it, they had it. Illegal, well, it was always illegal to have liquor over there. And that's why they called it the Gold Coast. We bootleg everything over there. The hottest spot in Jackson. When you wanted to party, come cross the river to the Gold Coast. That's where the fun was, all night long. Now, during the time when that was going on, they had a bus coming from Jackson that come through Rankin County and go to Fannin. Now, you had to catch that bus in the morning at 6 o'clock and go to Jackson. In the evening, you got to catch at 6 and come back from Jackson and go to Fannin. Well, the party people had to come from Jackson at 6 in the evening to go to the Gold Coast to party, but the bus didn't come back at 6 o'clock next morning, so you still go there all night long. So you gonna party there all night long, man. And we had clubs from the Blue Goose, the Rocky Lounge, the Blue Flame, and like Miss Stamps say, the first black hotel in the state of Mississippi. I'm thinking, I might be wrong, we might have to check that, but it was one of the first black hotels in Jackson that we know of. The Stamps Brothers Hotel.
It was the first.
The first. And at this hotel, we talking about, and Miss Billie can give you the lowdown on that. We talking about stars from Calloway to Ella Fitzgerald to
Duke Ellington.
Duke Ellington. You name them. Every big band back in the day came from New York to Jackson. Miss Billie and them booked them in the nightclub, and that's where they come from. But basically, all of them, Calloway came from New York as a booking agency. And that's how we got them down here. And as far as me, I'm 56 years old, so I was kind of young when that was going on, but I can still remember going to the Blue Flame and to the Gay Lady. My father owned a club called the Gay Lady. And you could see the slot machines and all. We used to go and clean up the floor. My brother and I used to go pick up nickels and dimes that they had dropped through the floor and stuff, you know. That's what our lunch money. Many a day. Church money, lunch money. That's where we got our money from. Having my father clean up the clubs and stuff, you know. He ran the Blue Flame, and sooner or later they owned the Gay Lady, he and Robert Dean, which is a good friend of his. So from that time, like I say, we counted 122 entertainment spots on the Gold Coast. And that was one of the hottest spots during the time that you could go and party.
Now, Ms. Stamps, what year did you get to the Gold Coast? And explain again how your connection to the Gold Coast and what you did there.
Well, in 1945, I married Clifton Stamps, and he at that time was operating the hotel, he and his brother, Charlie Stamps. They also had built the Rankin Auditorium. It's where the big bands were being booked from New York. And I can't think of I always said I was going to put the name down, but we had to pay you, of course, you know, before the big bands come. They, in turn, operated a policy wheel, two policy wheels. And
who is that?
this is also was in their in their business operation.
This is for the police.
For the police, what
For
are
the
you-
city government operated these policies?
No, Stamp Brothers, the Stamp Brothers, Charlie and Clifton Stamps, operated the two policy wheels. And of course, that made big money, big money.
I
Big
guess we
money.
need to explain to them what a policy wheel was, Ms.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
a policy wheel is, what do you call it? I guess the same as the
Roulette?
casino. Like, for instance, if someone put down 3, 13, and 33, of course that was kissing. That's the name of that. 3, 13, and 33. Now, if you had that, and you had, say, 15 cents on this little ticket, which was about 2 inches, about 2 inches, and about 2 inches. And you could put many numbers as you could afford. But like 3, 13, and 33 was a very hot number. And of course they had the policy, they had the policy wheel that they had these balls in, just like Louisiana,
Lottery.
that's the same thing.
Basically what it is.
And I mean, they made thousands and well, they made big money, but that was a payoff from the sheriff department. They had to pay the sheriff department to operate that.
How
And
much
he
did they
paid-
have to pay?
Oh, it sometimes be 500,000 a week. Cause see, they were operating these slot machines, like 12, and then they had this policy wheel, and then they had the liquor on the bar in the offbeat room. So maybe $1,000 a week.
And to be clear, this was long before gaming was legal in the state of Mississippi.
And it was what do they call it? The blue? You couldn't operate no.
The blue
Laws.
blue light laws. Yeah.
That was illegal.
And so you had to pay the police as well.
At least $1,000. You paid $50 a wheel, of a slot machine. That I remember, because we did the same thing in Canton. In Canton, out on Fulton Road, Stamps Hotel number 2, and it was you live in luxury.
And did these operate out of the hotel?
Correct.
Back in the rooms.
In the back room of the offbeat room.
And what was the offbeat room?
The offbeat room is a bar and a small band, just a small combo. And a glass surrounding and beautiful. I guess I got made this to imitate the bowl that had the flowers in it, in the glass. Everything was glass.
Now when you talk about Stamps Hotel now, I've seen pictures of it. That was a bad hotel for 1937. They had everything in that hotel you could think about that's in the LeGrand Hotel. Policy rooms, they had dance rooms, had an auditorium, the offbeat room.
And then they had the deck with sand on it, where you could do the sanding.
The sand dance, yeah.
The sand dance.
Ella Fitzgerald did one of them dances for us. She'll tell you about that one.
And so they founded the Stamps Hotel. What year did it actually start? Do you know?
Well, I'm sure it was before 37, but it was in full bloom in 37. And that was the only place that the ball players, like the Negro National League, like
Satchel
Jackie
Page.
Robinson, and all of them, they had to stay at the Stamps Hotel.
Because no other place would let the blacks stay back there.
That's
And-
right.
It was the only place they could stay.
And this was for all the Satchel Page, before he ever, of course, before he ever went into the National League. He was in the National Negro League that played the East and the West as their playoff was.
How many rooms were in the hotel, and what kind of clientele did
The
you have?
hotel
Satchel
had
Page and-
25 rooms upstairs, and my apartment, and then there was some more. It was about 35, 40 rooms.
How many stories was that?
2 stories.
Only
Two stories.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
Only
if
2.
you would like for me to mention some of these names that stayed there,
Yes.
okay. I'm glad you asked. I got a list here. Let me start here. Duke Ellington, Ernestine Hawkins, Count Basie, Dizzy Gillespie, Billie Holiday, T-Bone Walker, Howlin Wolf, Lena Horne, Diana Washington, King Mo, Little Milton Campbell, Muddy Waters, B.B. King, Ella Fitzgerald, a regular. Tick Wells, a Tisket and Tassett. That's one did the Tisket and Tassett. Cab Calloway, Fletcher Robinson, Louis Armstrong, Gatemouth Moore, Lyle Hampton,
That's right.
Airmore James, Big Joe Turner, Eartha
That's right.
Kitt, Buddy Johnson, Tina Bradshaw, Louis Jordan, Little Richard, Big Maybelle, Gene Parker, Ike and Tina Turner.
That's right.
That's when Tina was, what was her name?
It was 16. What's her name? I forgot her name now. But when
It'll come to me in a minute.
she got to be my neighbor back
Yeah.
in New York. I mean, back in LA too. Next door neighbor. I have the children's picture and all of that. My children and her children. Well, Ike's children. Ike's children and my children and her one child. And I can't say what. But anyway.
Oh, did we tell them the truth this time?
Yeah, but
All right, and then you got,
that was in Los Angeles, so that was years later, you know.
Okay.
all right, after Tina Turner, we got Ray Charles, L.C. Cook, Bobby Blue Bland, the Negro Baseball League, Satchel Page, Fats Domino, Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, I thought you had missed
That's a
that.
list of some of the
And
people.
did you get to meet all of these people?
Domino is still alive, and he and my husband, Clips and Stamps, was gambling, not partners, but he would come to Jackson to let Cliff beat him shooting dice. And they had this dice room too in the hotel. It's just a room with nothing but dice, you know, and
Big tables, dice
The
tables.
hotel
and I
was
tell
equipped with
you,
everything.
that
Yeah.
was a money maker. It was just everything was money maker. You know?
And see, the
Everything was
thing of it was, the police was so,
liberal.
yeah, they would call and let you know when they coming down to make a bus, so that'll give them
the
time.
National Guard. See, every year the National Guards had to come through to see if they could clean up the county. And of course, you definitely knew they were coming. And your walls and up under your door windowsill was where you kept your cases of whiskey for that particular, for those few days. What is it? Maybe 5 days. Maybe they might come in, and then you burn up all of the marijuana that you had in one of the storage rooms, which you had those Crocus fools. No, the Crocus, I don't know, you know, my children don't know what Crocus are.
Yeah.
You know, they're those weaving sacks, you know.
Yeah.
Well, you went to El Paso and got that, and you had these in the walls of the rooms and things, and up under the you know, in the walls. The hotel was built.
And so you went to El Paso and you buy a giant croaker sack.
Oh, more than one.
Oh, okay. How many would you buy and how much did they cost?
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to tell the truth then.
Well, they can't bust you now.
No, yeah, the statute of limitations.
Yeah.
We had 1 pound bags and 2 pound bags and 5 pound bags that you sold. But like a 1 pound bag that some of the wives sold. Well, it wasn't but 2 wives.
Kind of told on yourself that time.
But anyway, that was $1.
Woo,
$1.
boy. They call it inflation nowadays.
Of marijuana. I mean, this was quite a thing, you know.
Right.
Marijuana was quite a thing across the river. I don't know.
They bootleg everything across